Hey guys, it's Nick Kavush. Taco was pretty close on the name, I think. So my favorite Bonnaroo moment, 2019, at the Witch stage during Lonely Island. I'd gotten separated from my group. I was trying to re-meet them. They were on like the left-hand side of the area, and I was on the right-hand side, coming from the right-hand side. I don't remember why. But as I was working my way through the crowd, came up on this guy who was wearing like a white fur coat, and he had a stuffed seal that was wrapped in EL wire, and I just had to stop and see what this craziness was in front of me. And as I was processing it, I tapped him on the shoulder and asked him if I could pet his seal. And he turned around and he was like, sure, and he held it out. And I was petting his seal, just losing my mind, trying to figure out what was going on and why this guy was in front of me. And from under his coat, he produced a little baby stuffed seal that would fit in the palm of your hand, basically. And he gave it to me, which someone later told me must have been a seal of approval. And so I graciously accepted it. I didn't know what to say, and continued on my way through the crowd and met up with my friends and showed it to them, and carried it around the rest of the night. What was also unique about this trip to Bonnaroo is I was only there for 20 hours. We had put our house on the market, and I'd originally scheduled vacation time to take off for Bonnaroo, but wound up moving the dates off some weeks ahead to get the house ready for sale. And pretty much had gotten that all caught up and had a buyer check out the house, and we did a home inspection and all that stuff, and finished those things and wound up with a free weekend, which happened to be Bonnaroo, and bought a ticket online from someone and validated it at roll call and showed up on Saturday with a backpack and a case of Miller Lite, and found out as I was getting there that they had made an offer that we were going to accept, and I had to be back home on Sunday to sign papers. So arrived midday and stayed up all night and slept for a couple hours and left again at 10 in the morning to go home to sign papers for the house. But I still have the seal. It's really sticks out in my mind as a really cool memory that I feel like, it's only at Bonnaroo. And, so that's my favorite memory. Thanks, guys.
What up, boys, from the What Podcast? I'm a big fan. Appreciate all you guys do. My name's Kevan, and I'm calling to share my favorite Bonnaroo memory with y'all. Really, there's so many great memories, but if I had to pick one, I would probably say it was back in 2019. My wife and I have been going since 2016, and I've never been in a pit before. So I was bound and determined to get into a pit for a show that year. So I picked the Killers on Sunday night to close out the festival. So I wear lots of costumes. I'm wearing my Dayman costume, a.k.a. a full yellow suit. And I'm waiting in line for hours to get in the pit. Get in. It's amazing. Amazing show. The energy's so fun. And it's really cool to see the stage from that close. But as the show went on, I noticed there's a camera guy up on stage who would pan the crowd every time his camera shot would be projected onto the big screens, and a red light would come on his camera and start to blink. So every time I noticed his light turn on and it be projected on the big screens, I would start jumping up and down like crazy, try to see myself on the big screens. And you could faintly see my head from the crowd jumping up and down a few times, but no big deal. But I assumed he noticed that I was doing that because fast forward to the end of the show, I see him panning the crowd one more time and his red light blinking. So I start acting crazy, and he zooms right in on me for what seems like an eternity, but it was probably really only a couple of seconds on the big screen. Really cool anyway, though. After that, he gives me a huge smile and a thumbs up. So just awesome moment for my first pit experience at Bonnaroo. And I'll always remember that camera guy. If you're out there, thank you, bud. Real quick, though, runner-up best memory was also in 2019. I somehow got my hands on an artist guest pass, which apparently gave me access to behind the witch stage and all that. So I was able to see this famous Camp Nut Butter, and I even yelled out and said, "Hey, I love the show." And I think it was Brad out there. He was like sitting on a couch, looked like he just woke up or was hungover. He goes, "Oh, thank you." And I also left some gifts for you guys in your mailbox as well. So anyway, thanks for listening. I really don't expect to win the free tickets, but if I do, since I've already bought tickets this year, I would give them to my best friend. Him and his family, they've had a really hard time this past year, just going through a lot. And I've always begged him to go to Rue, but he's never had the money to do it. So if I'm lucky enough to win these tickets, they will go to him and his family, whoever wants to go. So thanks again, guys. Love ya. Happy Rue. We'll see you this year.
Hey guys, my name is Jordan. I'm 28 years old. I'm a first grade teacher from just south of Lexington, Kentucky. I've been to 6 Bonnaroos now, hopefully going to make it 7 here very, very soon. I am entering to win tickets because I want to take my baby sister to her first Bonnaroo. She just started getting into festivals last year. We went to Forecastle together for her first festival, and she had a blast. But as we all know, Bonnaroo is a little bit different. So I really want her to go there and just experience the things that I have. So my favorite Bonnaroo story is actually kind of a summary of how Bonnaroo makes me feel. So one year, I can't even remember the year now because they all kind of blur together. But one year, my other sister and I went with some of our cousins, and we ended up where we were camped, making this like huge community with all of our neighbors. So like as we were unpacking, we ended up making this huge shade awning, and everybody was sharing camping supplies. Like, oh, you need a zip tie here. Like, we have an extra tarp. Like, let's make this so we can sit under here and have some shade and like some cool air. So I just remember hanging out with them, and we ended up going to shows together. And somebody even brought a pool, which ended up being a terrible idea. And I think we ended up like throwing it in the garbage, like putting it out on the side of the road because it just got disgusting. But the best part and the thing that sticks out to me the most is that Sunday, everybody was like trying to get rid of all their food and trying to get everything packed up. So we ended up making like a giant family breakfast. And this person was like, oh, we've got extra bacon over here, and we've got extra fruit, and we've got juice, and we've got water. So we ended up making like pancakes and bacon, and we cut up fruit, and we were just making this huge like family Sunday brunch all together. There were like 30 of us out in GA camping. But that is the kind of stuff that makes Bonnaroo special to me, is everybody takes such good care of each other, and there's just this awesome like community energy. And that's what we try to say all the time, but it really is true that like everyone does take care of each other there. So I really would like my sister to go and experience that. I call her my baby sister, but she's not really a baby anymore. I actually started going to Bonnaroo when I was about her age. So I really would like her to go and experience that and see what's so special about Bonnaroo versus all the other festivals that she could go to. So that's the kind of energy that I like. That's what I try to harness and bring back and give to people in my family and my friends and my students. But anyway, thank you so much. Looking forward to it. Wishing everybody a happy Roo, and hope to see you there.
Hey, so my favorite Bonnaroo story is last year. My daughter and her friends wanted to do cow theme on Saturday night. So after we did photos by the fountain, I was heading to the salad bar, and a guy stops me and says he thinks my cow shirt is really cool and how he only brought one outfit and he wanted to propose to his girlfriend. He asked if he could borrow my shirt. I literally gave a stranger the shirt off my back. Fortunately, I was rocking the dad vibes and had a shirt underneath the cow print shirt.
Hello, my name is Megan. I was lucky enough to go to Bonnaroo in 2019 with my neighbors, and it was my very first festival ever. I had such an amazing time and so many fun memories I'll never forget for sure. When I first got there that night, we set up our tent and stayed awake all night listening to our tent neighbors, who I'm pretty sure, they were camping behind us, but I'm pretty sure they had some magic mushrooms, and to say the least, were saying the funniest stuff all night long and making us laugh just as hard as they were. So that was a pretty good memory. Another funny one I have is staying up until sunrise at one of the stages, and one of the guys on stage in front of us was the most straight, serious face dancing, and he had a pineapple in his hand, and it was a whole pineapple, and he was just eating it with the skin and all. And me and my friend just kept thinking about how bad that had to hurt, but he sure looked like he just was dead serious having a great time. It was pretty funny. But I only went to one other festival my whole life, and my boyfriend's never been to one before, and I know that he would have a really, really good time. And I'm also about 99% sure that he got me a ring recently, and I think that he's been waiting for the right moment to ask the big question. And we've talked about getting married a lot, many times, and I think that would be a good opportunity that would probably, if that's the case, he would ask then. So I think he's just waiting for the right moment. So I think that would be an awesome experience. But we have 3 kids, and we wanted to go so bad this year and get a little away time and have some one-on-one adult time, just the 2 of us, because we never get that. But unfortunately, we couldn't afford it this year with all the bills we have. So I guess just the 2 of us with no kids and a getaway, and for his first time festival experience, and to have a good place for him to pop the big question. And yeah, we would be over the moon to get these tickets. Plus, there's so many artists that we really both love that are going this year. So I really hope you guys consider us for this amazing opportunity. We'd be forever grateful. But thank you so much for your time.
Hello, my name is Paul. It's been a minute since I've been to Bonnaroo. So many Bonnaroo moments over the years. I met a witch one time. I met a chicken in the campgrounds. But my favorite, the reason I go is for the music. And my favorite set of all time till this day is Bonnaroo 2008, My Morning Jacket, late night, in the rain, Kirk Hammett, covers, they're controlling the weather. I was up front. It was beautiful. I'll remember it for the rest of my life. All right. Be well. Take care. Bye.
Hey guys, my name is Victoria. I'm calling you from Omaha, Nebraska. I have a couple of things to share. So one is my favorite Bonnaroo memories, and also why I want to go again. I've been trying really hard to get my partner to go. He's never been, but I've only been once. That was 2014. I didn't know a lot about the festival before I went, but I just joined with a friend I knew from work, and it was awesome. I know you guys were there that year, so some of the standouts for me were like watching Wiz Khalifa and just showing up and seeing the plumes of weed smoke and people just passing us joints. And then Jack White, of course, he was amazing. I remember him at one point asking, looking at the crowd and asking if we wanted him to keep playing, and of course everybody was screaming yes, and then he just continued to play for I don't even know how long, like hours. What else? Like Elton John, by the time we got to Sunday, just being so exhausted but so excited to see him, and I remember I just could not even stand. Like I just had to sit and watch him. I don't know, there was just so many incredible shows.
Hey, my name is Tori, and my favorite Bonnaroo memory would have to be my first year. It was 2014. It was the original crew, just the 4 of us. It's grown a little bit over the years, but that time it was just the 4 of us. We were such babies, not even old enough to drink yet. So when I tell you we had fun, it was clean, sober, innocent, pure fun. We had never been that tired before. My feet killed me. I had served and bartended for a long time, but there is no type of sore foot like a Bonnaroo sore foot. And that year my brother had actually turned 16 on the farm, so my dad made sure to send us home to the farm the farm is home. But he made sure to send us there with a grill so we could make hot dogs or something in celebration of Bub's birthday. And it was the night of Jack White. We walked back to the tent. We were really excited to see Frank Ocean, just listen to all of the music that we were prepping for the night. And when I tell you we all 4 fell asleep, we ate our hot dogs and we fell asleep. And I remember waking up in the morning and being like, oh my God, we missed Jack White. We missed Frank Ocean. We missed a hell of a set list that night. And it's not my proudest moment to share, but it's definitely a funny memory because it just goes to show that, Bonnaroo can take a lot out of you, but it can also put a lot into you. We just had the best time ever, and this will be our 8th year back. We've, again, have lost some people, we've gained some people, but the original 4 always stayed true, and it's a really great moment, and hope you enjoy, and can't wait to see everybody on the farm. Bonnaroo!
Hey, what podcast? I'll try to keep it brief. This will be my 10th year going. I already have my tickets. I'd love to win a free ticket for my little brother. My best story has to be 2013 when they evacuated Centeroo because that incoming storm, I think it was right after Haim, and everybody frantically ran back to their vehicles. My partner at the time was so panicked about the storm that we packed up our entire campsite and then just hunkered down in the van. Meanwhile, we saw our neighbors just hanging out, literally grilling steak in the camp next door. So naturally, I made some friends with them. They are now lifelong friends that I go to Bonnaroo with every year. They outlasted the relationship I was in, but it's all good. So that's my great story. We all went back in, I think, for Ellie Golding, and it was bonkers because they didn't do the security check. So people just brought in 30 racks, and it was the best night ever. So that's my story. Thank you.
What up, Brad, Barry, and Lord Taco? It's your man, DJ Bryce Princeton. Big fan of the show and former Patreon. Just wanted to submit a memory of ours. One of our favorite memories came from Bonnaroo 2019. Was our first year at Bonnaroo and definitely solidified Roo as our favorite festival at that point. Just the fact that we were able to see all of we're big EDM heads, so we saw a lot of the EDM those first couple nights, and actually not even realizing time in general. We were out all night walking back to our camp, and the sun was coming up, and that was one of the first times we'd realized, wow, anything is actually possible at this festival, and we've been back every year since. Gonna come this year. We are in general camping. Hope to see you guys there. All right.